Hello booktube, hello book friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel and something a little bit new, at least for me, on this channel. I was going to read some poetry today as part of Poetry Thursday. As you know, or maybe not, I have an interest in war poetry, and I've recently been trying to dig a little deeper and go beyond the well-known poets, so the Siegfried Sassoons, the Wilfred Owens and the Rupert Brookes. And in particular, I've been trying to find out a little bit more about female war poets, because they were very often not at the front line, or if they were there as nurses or in some other role. They weren't there as combatants. And so I thought I'd read a couple of poems today from a lady called Marian Allen, who was born in the late 1800s and died in 1953. She only published one collection of poetry called The Wind on the Downs, and I will read that the poem, the titled poem, in a moment. But other than that, there's not a lot kind of written about her. She was born in Australia, in New South Wales, moved to Oxford in England in sort of a few years after her birth, and never married, although was due to marry a soldier who died in the First World War. So I thought I would read a couple of her poems today. The first is entitled The Raiders, and as I say, the second is entitled The Wind on the Downs, which is the title of her volume of poetry that was published. So this is The Raiders. In shadowy formation up they rise, dusky raiders with their bat-like wings. The night is studied with 1,000 eyes, and its dim cloak on desolation flings. The wind through stay and wire moans and whines, the engines throb with thrilled expectant breath. 80 miles to eastward of the lines, they go and carry with them stings of death. The spirit of adventure calls ahead. They leave the earth behind them battle-bound, and rise untrammelled from the war-stained ground, grey moving shadows o'er the lonely dead, flying unflinching as an arrow flies down the uncharted roadway of the skies. And then The Wind on the Downs. I like to think of you as brown and tall, as strong and living as you used to be, in khaki tunic, Sam Brown belt and all, and standing there and laughing down at me. Because they tell me, dear, that you are dead, because I can no longer see your face, you have not died, it is not true, instead you seek adventure in some other place. That you are round about me, I believe. I hear you laughing, as you used to do, yet loving all the things I think of you, and knowing you are happy should I grieve. You follow and are watchful where I go. How should you leave me, having loved me so? We walked along the towpath, you and I, beside the sluggish moving still canal. It seemed impossible that you should die. I think of you, the same and always shall. We thought of many things and spoke of few, and life lay all uncertainly before, and now I walk alone and think of you, and wonder what new kingdoms you explore. Over the railway line, across the grass, while up above the golden wings are spread, flying, ever flying overhead. Here still I see your khaki figure pass, and when I leave the meadow, almost wait that you should open first the wooden gate. Thank you for watching. Speak to you again soon. Bye bye.